All right, all right, all right. Let's get going. Come on. It's been a while here. What the heck are you doing out there, Fritz? Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is June 4th, 2024. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. I'm broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch. You can see we've got some friends from Twitch watching and joining us here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see you. Hey, there's a handful of you over there on YouTube. Say hello. Good morning. I hope you're having a great day. Hello, hello. I've got some coffee, a little bit of Good Morning America in my cup here. Hang on a second. That's how you know it's real. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm back from a forced hiatus for about a week. I had COVID. I thought we got rid of that. It's 2024. What the hell are you doing? Um, Turns out had some family that flew across the country, and we think they picked it up in the great Northwest, brought it home, and yeah, dealt with that for a little bit, and ooh, um, wasn't too bad. I had four of the shots, four of the vaccines, so I wasn't in pain so much as I just dealt with, um, just a whole bunch of lethargy, just tired and achy. But we got through, and I was feeling pretty good over the weekend. I took some time to read some stuff and write a little bit of code and ease back into things. I played a little bit of Overwatch. Played terribly in Overwatch. I don't know if it's me or if it's the folks I'm playing with, or the folks I'm playing against are starting to pick up on my stupid tricks that I use. Um, but we're having some fun with that. Let me catch up with you, chat room, right over here. Great to see you. TMKDK, hello. C Sharp Titan, hello. Hopes I'm feeling better and recovered. Yeah, I'm doing much better. Null Shuffle with a big wave. Hello. Is it Million One? Hello, Milan One. Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome. First time chatter. Billy Cool with a big wave. Hello. Chris Jones. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Robson Previato. Good morning to you. How's it going there, Dr. Cox? Hello, hello. Minoj, yeah, we're doing good. So, um, so I didn't get a chance. I had a bunch of shenanigans we were going to do on Thursday and Friday of last week. This is a short week for me this week. First off, I'm going to go back to Tuesdays, Thursdays, maybe Fridays on occasions. Um, Thursday this week, my daughter graduates from high school. She graduates at noon. We need to be there early to get seats. So I'm not going to be able to broadcast Thursday. She has to leave for, she has to be at college 7 a.m. on Friday morning. So literally, she's graduating, we're getting in the car, and we're driving the 6 hours to university. Like, okay, here we go. So I'm going to be out on Friday also. We'll see if I broadcast Sunday morning or not. I don't know, but it's going to be a short week. I'm pushing back the shenanigans. I had a bunch of shenanigans planned for Thursday and Friday, including our guest Carl Franklin. We're scheduling Richard Campbell to join us, and there's more that I need to update you on. So on your fifth day of COVID, yeah, it was um a quick turnaround. 5 days of COVID, and oof, just oof. Um, I got out and I cut the grass on Sunday morning, and I got through about half of it and was like, okay, we're done. Don't push this too hard. Um, so still got more of that to do, and I can take my time kind of rolling through different segments of the grass, that kind of thing. Um, so how you doing there, Alu the Crow? Yeah, I'm feeling better. Thank you for the well wishes. So, um, I was gonna try and do a Hot One style chicken wing stream on Thursday. I wanted to do it today. I'm I don't think I should with how I'm feeling this morning. So I'm going to push that back. Next week we can do a bit of these, and it'll give us some more time to plan and set up and put some entries on the schedule for some of these shenanigans. So Mr. Carl Franklin's going to join us, and I talked to him tomorrow, so we'll get that scheduled and set up. Um, because we did rewind. Yeah, rewind. I have a rewind button here. I do. I do have a rewind button. I was going to be fundraising on Thursday and Friday last week, and clearly I didn't. However, the generosity of our friend Michael Jolly and the bald bearded builder community, he donated $1,000 on behalf of his community to our fundraiser at the end of the week last week. That took us over $2,700 total. Thank you so much for that. And if he drops in, I'll be sure to thank him. He's got some major changes in his life. I don't know if you saw his Twitter. X, Twitter. I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter till somebody tells me otherwise and corrects me from that company. It's Twitter. He's got some big changes in his life. Got to go check out his Twitter. I'm not gonna. It's not for me to announce. Big congratulations out to him, but he made a very nice donation of $1,000 to it. So that's gonna get me into. We're gonna do a meet the Fritz horses animal friendly stream for folks that are animal lovers out there. I have to do it. We tried testing the network connection over there. It's awful. So we'll record and do some IRL recording over there at the ranch. We'll meet the horses and have some fun with them, and then I'll broadcast and do it MST3K style with me in the corner as the video goes by on the big screen, and we'll talk about the Fritz horses. That was our $2,000 goal. Our $2,500 goal was we were going to invite Scott Hanselman to join us for a stream. Scott is very happy to join us for about an hour and talk tech and write a little bit of code together. So, and of course, it'll be AMA style, your chance to ask questions and talk about all things tech. He's a vice president at Microsoft. So he will answer questions to the best of his abilities that he's allowed to within his fiduciary responsibilities. And we'll have some fun with that. That'll be coming up. There'll be an announcement when I have it scheduled. You'll have plenty of time to get the popcorn, get settled in, and have fun with that when that happens. So we've got 3 guests coming up: Carl Franklin, Richard Campbell from .NET Rocks, and Scott Hanselman will be joining us, and we'll have AMA-style conversations with each of them separately, having a good time talking about tech. That'll be coming up. We'll probably do one a week through the rest of June. Harrison, need to look into one of them robot lawnmowers. You've got that's not a bad idea, but at the same time, there's funny shapes in the yard, right? Because the yard isn't exactly flat. There's craters and bumps and things because there's trees and whatnot in the yard, and dents and depressions where there's been trees and rocks that we've removed and whatnot, and so it's not exactly flat. It'll eventually flatten out. The ground will just settle, but I worry about running a robot lawnmower over the fun contours of my lawn. Ned Bog says, please don't remind you about the grass. You cut it for 3 days. Oh my gosh, Ned, I hear you there. Oh my gosh, I lowered the deck on the lawnmower one notch so that I could try and cut it a little bit shorter and not have to cut it for maybe 2 weeks. I don't know there. Good, let's see if it should have this hat. Yeah, it's my NASA hat. There you go. Let me continue catching up here. How you doing there? Coding with Carlos with the big wave. Hello. Mythin, how's it going there? Dr. Cox says, loving the deep dive series of Scott and Stephen Tobe. Yes. The deep dive content that they're doing there is very intriguing. I want to make sure that folks appreciate that it's not a beginner series. Um, and I had a little bit of a conversation with Scott about this. Some of the things they're showing are particularly they did some performance tuning at Microsoft Build on stage, and he said it a few times during the session, but I want to make sure that folks understand they were optimizing things to shave off nanoseconds. These were things that were already performing in nanoseconds, not milliseconds. Look at the code that you write inside your applications, and stuff runs in milliseconds. You write "Hello World" out to the screen, right? Just a little console app, and you just write console write line "Hello World," and it runs in 10, 15 milliseconds, right? They were optimizing things that take 200 nanoseconds, right? There's 1,000 nanoseconds in a millisecond, okay? So they were optimizing things that run 2 orders of magnitude faster than console write line, okay? These are these are things that literally run hundreds of times inside your code that they were optimizing. Amazing insight that they were sharing. However, in the optimizing they were doing, they were they were shaving off nanoseconds. When you have code that runs in milliseconds or half seconds or seconds, saving a couple nanoseconds isn't where you need to be spending your time. Okay. So it's a fantastic series. Really cool insights into how things are running, moving things around and optimizing how to optimize your code for performance. But some of the tricks they're doing around spans and managing memory, that isn't where you should be starting to optimize your code. There's some of the moving things around and organizing how your code um, can get work done faster. Some of those things they're looking at, absolutely go after that. But span and memory optimization aren't really where most folks need to be. I need a flat yard. Yeah, what can I tell you? I could spend a couple $1,000s coming through and trying to level the yard and filling in. Not worth my time. Not worth my time. Mithin says, I have a question regarding .NET Aspire. Fire it. Here we go. Let's catch up with it right here. I'm experimenting with it on behalf of my employer. Is it correct that it's not possible yet to deploy it to an existing resource group on Azure? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I'm going to get some music playing in the background here. That's a great question to get us started. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start with the synthwave playlist today because I need just something groovy out here that's fun. Let's start with this song. This is called Her Narrative. There you go. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Check it out at streambeats.com. Here it comes. There's all kinds of groovy music out there in a bunch of different genres. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for putting this music together we're listening to today. So here's the thing with the question regarding .NET Aspire deployment. If you wanted to use the tools that are set up for .NET Aspire deployment, AZD, Aspirate, the AWS deployment tools, they assume that they're building and managing their own resource group and are going to knock down and recreate things appropriately in that resource group that they own, that those tools own for you. That said, nothing's keeping you from still deploying with the same tools that you were using before. You can still use GitHub Actions to deploy various components of your website. You can still use that and just take care of wiring up some of the conventions for connection strings and references to other services that Aspire looks for. You can do that. If you want to take advantage, though, of the automated deployments and the management that these tools give you when they see and they work with an Aspire application stack, yeah, you can't target an existing resource group. So, hey, lanky Scottish nerd, good day to you. Let me see here. Dr. Cox says, "Yep, it's a series of do this to your code, but it helped me really understand certain things behind the covers." Cool. Link videos. Oh yeah, the optimizations that they've done to Link, language integrated natural query, LINQ. The optimizations that the .NET team has done to that in recent releases mean that Link is now faster in most cases than you writing your own for loop to iterate over a collection and do those types of set based operations. Manoj asks, what's a good way to get started with Azure Web Apps and Function Apps, Microsoft Docs, or any other recommendations? Learn.microsoft.com. There's a series of tutorials there that will show you how to work with those. Additionally, they provide you with a sandbox that will allow you to build, deploy, and work with things on Azure for free. And then it'll knock down and release the sandbox when you're done your lesson. Soft as in software over there on YouTube. Hello. DMA free, however, all kind of, they think they have the right to claim the video. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm going to be removing them later. You're right. Hey, Apollo, good morning. You like the hat? I do like the 80s, 90s style NASA hat. And this is what they call a 5-panel hat, because you see it's one panel here that the logo is embroidered on, right? And you can kind of see it's raised up on the hat. But it's one single panel here, and then there's 4 panels around the rest of the hat. So, sounds like they should optimize for loops. They did with Link. They did. They optimized the loops like crazy. So, let me catch up here. So, I've been since I was knocked for a loop last week. Let me catch you up on just a few other things here, and remind me, I should, like, in the 10:30-ish, I should talk about the St. Jude things that we're going to be scheduling here. Remind me at 10:30 to talk about St. Jude again. So I gave a session last Wednesday on the Visual Studio channel talking about building with Entity Framework and Postgres on the Big Bad Blog video series. And you can find that. Let me head over to the code and show you this, because I was doing some writing on this last night, and I was having a very good time writing this. Like, you ever get into writing code or writing a document or something, and it's an ADHD thing. I know this, and I don't know if I'm proud of it or if I'm not, or if it's a superpower that I have. I don't know. But you get hyper focused, and you just completely lose track of everything going around you. You just get stuff done. That's a little bit of what I ran into last night. Let me show you. Let me head over here to the code. So this is the Big Bad Blog sample repository. I've been having a lot of fun writing this. I've approached this like I was telling a story, where each chapter of the story is, hey, we're building and adding a new feature to this content management system. That's a very simple blog that we're learning new features of .NET Aspire by moving things around and making this blog that was just a series of markdown files on disk, making it more complex and more interesting. And I've been writing module 2 here. Now, module 2, I actually presented and walked through the whole thing, but I didn't have the document finished. So, right, here's what the original blog looks like, and in an episode or two, we'll add some design to it. But the first module that I taught a couple of weeks ago before build is right here, and when I went through and I wrote this, I didn't realize how much I had written. Check this out. It's 11 pages. It's 11 pages I wrote for just episode 1. Like, okay, and some of the images don't exactly fit entirely on screen. I did my best to get them to fit, but some of them don't exactly fit. And you know what? I didn't put a... Yeah, I do have a next module, but I didn't link it yet. I should probably link that. So I started writing, and I've been working on episode 2 here, and I've got a whole bunch of content, but I've still got 3 more sections that were pillars of what we talked about during that episode. But I've already written a bunch here, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, wait a sec. Okay, that said 6 last night. 6 sheets of paper. All right, 4, whatever. So I'm already at like 4, and I've got at least 3 more sections to this that I got to write. I'm going to be out to like 12, 14 pages on this. That's going to be like 25 pages on just the first 2 modules of this. And I'm looking at that and going, holy smokes. I'm writing more in prose to explain all this stuff than I am in the code a good bit here. And it got me to thinking, should I bundle up the text that I'm writing into an ebook? Yeah, right? Softness and software. That's what I'm thinking, right? Like, I think this material is good. I don't have an editor to validate it. I've got editor folks at Microsoft that I could have take a look and review. Heck, I could throw it into ChatGPT to review, or into Word and get the grammatical and spelling fixes done. But I've been writing a ton, and then last night, I have the ideas for Module 3, what we're teaching this week. So I don't even have the Module 3 pinned out here yet. But I started writing the docs for it. And I want to get through, and I want to do things like this. So I went out to and I'll talk more about this. I went out to Reddit, and I've been searching Reddit and other places for various topics that people want to know more about .NET Aspire, articles that folks wrote about it. And I saw this, hey, .NET Aspire just went GA, and I scrolled down here, and right, there's a couple folks, Damien saying, hey, thanks so much. There's, kind words about this. And there's people who have questions and complaints, some comments. Default deployment option to container apps. Oh, that's so expensive. It's not expensive. You honestly don't know what you're looking at. David Fowler saying thanks for the feedback. They're going to integrate the Kubernetes tools at some point here. I don't get it. What's the main advantage if everything is in the same solution? And this is where I think this starts to get a little bit interesting, and where I want to start making sure I hit and answer questions, and where I want to hear from you, and where I've been taking notes, and I want to make sure I solve specific things here. If your system is so big it doesn't fit in a single solution, probably you have it split into many subsystems with well-defined and concrete points of contact. In that case, the solution of your subsystem, you add an Aspire configuration that pulls the containers of the point of contacts to your subsystem. And there's somebody else here who says, factor 1 of the 12-factor application states, codebase A, there's a single code base for each microservice stored in its own repository, tracked with its own version control, and it can deploy to multiple environments separately. So that's what we're going to do in tomorrow's episode. Seems to be a direct conflict? No. And this is the person whose quote I grabbed. It's a big advantage of microservices. Your code reflects your organization, with each team having their own repository of microservices they manage. There's 2 ways, I think, to look at this statement. there's let me there's two ways I think to look at this statement. You're shipping your org chart. What happens? Your organization changes. When your organization changes, does it align with how your software is organized? Or are you going to reorganize your software to match your new org chart? Challenges. So that's something to be aware of and concerned about, but their point's valid. Each team has their own repository and microservices they manage. I'm guessing that means Aspire is not for us. No. You just haven't seen that part of the demo yet, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you tomorrow how to do that. What feeling did you have, Ninja Ola? Hey, Boss Gans, hyper focus. Yeah, some people can do this longer even, and others not so much. Totally agree. It's pretty impressive. Thank you. Hey, Loose, have I got? So I'm talking about this here, this issue, and it should have its own repository, microservices, and database to go with that. So for the Big Bad Blog demo tomorrow, I'm going to answer exactly that question, and we're going to take, so the Big Bad Blog is a sample where we've got some security data we're storing in a database with identity, and we've got post data that started as a series of markdown on disk. Thank you for the follow. Well, gosh, that type of unstructured blog data is perfect for a NoSQL database. Why don't we use MongoDB to store that? We've already got Postgres out there that I set up to store the security data, and I brought in the last episode. I did bring over and put the blog data in there. But you know what? I'm going to answer this question about gosh, Aspire's not for us. Fine. You don't think it's for us? We're going to throw it over into MongoDB in its own microservice. In fact, the completed sample code isn't even going to be in this repository. I'm putting it somewhere else just to show you that we can do that. Tomorrow on the stream over on the Visual Studio Twitch channel and the .NET YouTube, we'll be doing that. And quite frankly, for a simple blog, we're going to be able to scaffold all the Mongo interactions, and we're going to see just how fast and easy that is to do with Entity Framework. And then the gist, the real thrust of the session is showing how to log that up. You're going to play with Atlas and Aspire. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Eric asks, if there's loads of microservices, what are your thoughts on contract testing? Sure, why not? I think you're also going to want to be able to provide stubs for those things, right? So that you know and can rely on the feedback coming from those services. What does that look like? What's that interaction like as you're building, working, and interacting with them? So really cool stuff that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So if I have any questions tomorrow while on stream, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, I happen to be part of the announcement that Entity Framework Core now supports MongoDB. There's a driver for it. You can install the MongoDB provider, and as we're going to see, for doing things like bringing back blog posts from a collection in MongoDB, it's a perfect interaction because I don't need any kind of complex query structure to go and bring back blog posts, right? I'm just going to say, well, go get the latest 10 for page 1 and tell me how many pages there are, and so on and so forth. Go get me this post that has this slug to identify it. Sure. MongoDB eats that up, just cruises through those types of interactions, and being able to generate them easily with Entity Framework and scaffold a minimal API from it, piece of cake. Piece of cake. Hey, hello there, Mamet. Good to see you on YouTube. And you can query with link. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I sound like the Kool-Aid guy. Not intentional. Not intentional at all. Okay? Because what can I tell you?
I drink and I know things.
I do. Not so much right now because I'm doing I'm on my way back from COVID. So link support, yeah. Very important to the Mongo team. Make sure it was actually used. Oh yeah. Right? And it feels good. It feels right when you're able to query and use the MongoDB database and interact with it. And I'm even going to show you how to set up Mongo Express with one line of code, just like we did pgadmin inside your .NET Aspire application stack. Tomorrow, that's what I was working on late last night here in stately Fritz Studios. I've been working on this website here, which has taught us and we've learned about a bunch of things for .NET Aspire. This is aspirify.net. This is the news hub we've been building, maintaining, and growing that talks about all the latest news, the blog posts, the videos, the podcasts. Folks are talking about .NET Aspire. So you want to catch up on the latest, you want to see what's going on. We've got all kinds of news articles and videos that have all the things people are talking about regarding .NET Aspire out here on aspirify.net. I've added a couple more articles here, so that using Keycloak, an article on dzone, executing automated tests, a new video from David Fowler, and Damian Edwards. Really great stuff that you can check out there. No offense to CEOs and CTOs, developers are your people. Totally. When developers can be more productive with your tools and services, they're more likely to use it and integrate it and buy those capabilities to integrate with their systems. And it's all about selling the licenses. So we've been pretty happy with how this website is built, how it's grown, and we've been building it using .NET Aspire here on the channel. And I've got a handful of different issues and things out here that we should go through and address and review and learn about, and apply some updates, some patches here to the website. So being my first stream back up, I didn't want to go too hard today, and I wanted to go through and add some more features, have some fun with this on stream. So some things that I think we can do, I don't want to say quickly. Oh dear Lord, I got put onto a chat room on Skype. Yeah, with 600 people. No. Block. Spam. Goodbye. And I'll respond to this real quick. So, and I also have a squirrel costume stream that I need to do coming up. All of that because we hit a flash goal. So I have a squirrel stream. I have a Hot One style chicken wing eating stream. I have guests to invite. Lots that are going to be going on here. Yep, that's right, Eric. That's the link. So I think there's a couple things scrolling down here a little bit further that we can look at. This one here, I think we should absolutely work on the search indexer. There's a couple things there that need to fix, tune, and interact with. So I think we can do that. The events section needs a calendar. You know what? I actually haven't had that many events logged, so I'm not I'm not sold on this one yet. That's a lower priority. Automatically post content to social media. That'll be fun. We can get to that. I don't think we can. I don't think I want to do that today. There's going to be a little bit of planning and automation and setting up so that it can post to Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever. Article descriptions should support Markdown. Haven't had that issue yet, so that's a lower priority. Tags, that's something we need to do at some point. Schedule agents to crawl and identify content. That's not bad. This one, I'm okay with having this go away and say, not going to implement. Article submission queue, that one we could do. That one we could do, definitely. This one I think I want to start with here. This I absolutely want to do, but I'm not going to be able to get through it today. This one we can do as well. Alternate thumbnail images if there's an error. And there is at least one image that's not loading right. This one's probably pretty good to look at also. Be able to hide an article from the front page. Multiple authors. Yeah, I guess. That's going to be a thing, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Could probably do that with a second table that has a list of slugs that the authors have participated in. Particularly this multiple authors approach. Something like this, where here's David Fowler and Damien, and they're giving a presentation, and it was posted and it's hosted by NDC conferences. I'd like to have it appear under all three of them as authors so that you can search for and show. Here's a bug we need to fix also. Look at this thing. Watch. What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing over there?
Bueller.
Come on back. Anyways, so I think we need to fix that. This thing wandering off. Where's it going? Like, and now it's all resized wrong. Like, it's in news widget, but for some reason it thinks it can move it. Like, there it goes again. And see, it you can't see it. It went to width 100% down here for some reason. Even I don't know why it did that. Like, and it's, look, style, transition, transform, and it thinks it should be moving it. And quite frankly, I don't know why. Yeah. So I think that's something we want to address also. See, I've still got a little bit of that post-nasal drip going. So let me add that as an issue here just to make sure that I track it. Featured post slides out on article pages. That is a bug. Should not be doing that. So I think I've got a couple of items here that we can go through and fix and address and move out there. if somebody, and I'm going to hold off on this one, if somebody wants to take a look at why this is moving, I'd appreciate that. I do also see a little bit of color from the old theme in here, like this H1. There's a little bit of, it looks like there's like a, right? See it, there's like a little bit of green hanging under that. Right, so there's gray and it comes like halfway across. And it's not clear to me, right? That right there. So there's one or two places that I want to clear that green out. So let me start with those couple of items. I'm going to clear this. And let's move you over here. What do I got? I'm okay with that. Let's start off with fix some colors. Get this updated and we'll push things to deploy. Is that code base available on GitHub? No. Yeah, take a look at the browser DevTools and see if you can find it. Right, and all that I did was I was on the front page of Aspirify, and I clicked through to one of the article pages, and this starts moving. Right, go back to the front. And it will move on its own. And I wonder if it's right. See, the carousel will start moving there. Come on. There it goes. I'm wondering if it's that thinks it's still running. And it picks up and it runs the next thing. Yeah, see? I protected my main branch. I protected my main branch and I don't want to, update it directly. So. Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, when I closed that too. Right, it's this right here. It's this H1. There's an after on this. And it's on styles 2009. There it is. And our color is Rebecca Purple. You're not going to see it there. The other place that I'm run this and I can update the style and it'll automatically. Is that because it'll trigger a build on the web page? Yes. It'll build the web page. It won't update the output cache, so I'm actually going to have to force. I'm not changing the HTML actually. I'll have to force the output cache to be refreshed, which is not terrible. Yeah, if a fix takes longer than planned, yeah. I also want to show better practices. I want to be more disciplined in how I write code and interact with my branches of the repository so that I'm encouraging folks to do the right thing. So here's my .NET Aspire. Here's the Aspirify system. We're using storage services up here. We've got an output cache, security server, that's Postgres. We've got a PG admin instance. We can peek in there. There's the storage container that these are all living in. Excuse me. There's the Postgres database for the security, but down here's my website, so we can tinker with that. There we go. And now you can see that one's right. This one is still wrong, and so is that one wrong. Let me take a peek there at that H1, and it's right here. The after that is line 860. There we go. Replace that one, and good. Those ones look good now too. And that one's right. Good. All right. I think we got that cleaned up. The other one that I noticed, there's a couple of buttons that appear here for the latest and popular. Yeah, see, they turn green also on hover. These little chalupas right here. Right there it is. Style CSS 939. Come here. There they are. Background and border. Yep. I should really do a find for this color and just replace it everywhere. So I'm not doing this hunting and swapping out. Where else? Load more. I don't think I use that. Sure, I'll replace that one. I don't know what that one is. On the video post. So that's the, oh yeah, look at that. So if I go over here, that should have pushed a patch. There we go. Now it's the nice purple that I like. There we go. That's better. Where else? Alternative post. What's alternative post? Thumb post. Large post. That's not these. No. I think I've got those. I think we're good on that. Pretty new to branches and all that. Oh yeah. What should the featured post be doing? It should be staying still. But the carousel, when the carousel runs in production, right? So if I scroll up here, you see the carousel is going to start going by on its own. It's going to start moving things. Right? Come on. There it is. If I go through to another article, it'll pick up and move this. Like, it'll just start moving all of a sudden. So, I think those are the couple places that I wanted to patch in that color. So I will update that. Replaced green with the old template green with purple. And I'll push that. Back over here. I don't have an issue for it. It's fine. I don't need one for this one. But I will create that pull request. And there is a few unit tests in there that will go through and run. That actually should run pretty quickly. The tests on a branch, yeah, takes about a minute to run. But when it deploys, it'll take about 7 minutes to deploy and allocate and manage all the Azure resources correctly. So that's building, and I could just squash and push it out there, but let it run. Why not? So I'll let that go through. So this one I'm going to leave out there if somebody wants to take a look with their developer tools and can figure out where that's moving, we can go and inject and update. It's some JavaScript that's doing it. Is Rebecca Purple the name of the purple used for the C#.NET logos? It's close. It's not quite, but it's pretty close. You think it's the parent element div controlling the behavior, news post, image post. Hey, Chris Funk. Yeah, I'm getting back into it here. So let me do this. I'm going to jump back over to main. I'm going to check out a new branch. Moving featured post. Right? Because this is, quite frankly, a different part of the site that we're working on. It should have actually... Yeah, it rolled back those things. Let's see if it hot reloads and puts everything back to the other green. No. Yep, there it goes. Yes, I am. Oh, you're talking. Yes, the story of why it's Rebecca Purple is one of the reasons why I use it so extensively here. Okay. This is the one we're going to do. There we go. So that built properly as expected. So I will, and yep, all 5 tests ran successfully. See that? So I will squash and merge. Go ahead and do that. So that'll take about 7 minutes to deploy it, and when it's done, I'll go flush the output cache, and we'll see the new the fixes in production. So it is right in here, and if I look for Spirify, there we go. Look at all those articles out there that either I clicked into or other folks were reading. And that's great. We'll just go through and flush all those by hand and push it. I should put together some sort of a button on the admin area that will let me flush all of those articles from output cache at once. Yeah, let's add button to admin area to flush output cache. And I think we can take care of this while I'm working on the search indexer piece. Yeah. Okay. So that's building. We'll let that go for a little bit. So I'm going to look at this mention from Eric. That's on the home page, which is over here. Posts, sidebar, you. So I moved everything for the sidebar over here. The RSS widget. More, if there's more articles here, top featured article. There we go. So widget, news widget, and you're seeing. Oh, wait a sec. If we look at the live site, widget, news widget, And it's a news post, image post, and it's getting a style transition on it. Where's that coming from? Translate 3D. There's the carousel right there. No. It's all minified in there. Let's take a look and see if we can look at the source for that. No. Yeah, there we go. It's in here. I thought there was a way to deminify that. Or am I thinking... Hang on. Back over to this one. Ah, there we go. So there's the carousel. Initialize, load content. There it is. If this data owl init equals not 0, okay. So maybe I put data-owl-init. Right? Somebody had to have written this as a library. Yeah. Right? This is what was added into this. Oh, look at that. Yeah, fancy. Yeah, show me how to configure, because I'd like to make sure it's turned off. Right, yeah. Clearly it was bundled with this. And yeah, Owl Carousel is... So, can I turn it off when I navigate away from the home page? Right? Give me some docs here, friend. Yes. Well done. Well done. That's not what I want. Do you have a doc site here? Oh, there it is. All right. Include the JavaScript, set the HTML, call the plugin. I have a feeling that the Blazor swap out is getting confused. What do we got? Let's see. Items, margin, loop, center. I want to be able to turn it off. Maybe with autoplay. Like it's on the page. Mm. No. Sure, show me demos. So those are videos. Neat. I think there's... Go back over here and look at the actual source. Ugh. This one right here. Right, so... Setup and then initialize. I actually kind of want to just remove it. Inside the container element owl-carousel. So when I'm out here, right? So the carousel is going to run. Go ahead. Yes, I am using Bootstrap. This is what came with the template. And that should move in a few seconds. Or not. Nope, that's still... So this finished, and we should be looking at 0 Charlie David 981. We're not looking at the new version yet. But if I click through to one of these... Yeah, it's not picking up and moving. Nope, still the old version. That's fine. Oh my. Right? There it goes. It's not moving.
Squirrel!
I know. Yeah, it didn't pick it up and move it. Hey, Mom. Hello. Yep, that is the thing. How you doing, Mom? Good to see you. Yeah, like resizing the window and navigating back and forth. It's clearly a... Right, I also saw it clicking through into one of these. Yep, there, that thing happened. And it... Yeah, there it goes. But it's not in the carousel. It's clearly not in an owl carousel HTML block here. No, she doesn't. And I'm not doing that today, but next week we'll be wearing the squirrel costume for an episode. There's good. Yeah, and here's where, right, one of the thumbnails it's not finding. Okay. Come back to the thumbnail thing. But there it is. And it's like that carousel for loop. Right? I mean, this modern mag folks, they embedded that owl carousel here. Right, there it is. There's do translate. I mean, I could call... No, I need to get it not just... Well, there we go. I can call stop. Right? I mean, stop is a method on... Come here, you. Come on. And they say we've got large objects in .NET. This thing, this var n, yeah. Where's n? N is the object. There it is. I is object.create n. Okay, so I init t data this owl carousel. T is whatever's being sent in. So where's it calling? Where's it calling owl carousel? My Discord link is dead? No, it's not. There it is. The button on the channel. Is it? Let me just take a... I gotta remove the St. Jude stuff down below. Oh, you know what? That's the HTTP. Hang on. I changed that address. For some reason, HTTPS doesn't work with it. Yeah. Try that now. Refresh. That link should do it. So it should be HTTP. For some reason, I couldn't get the HTTPS to work. Okay, where was I? So somewhere it's calling... It's calling owl carousel. Even then I want to be able to call stop on that, but it's not exposed, right? I init T data this, and then it hangs I in the owl carousel object off of that. Well, where is this called? Well, okay, hang on, it's right there. All right, hang on. jQuery. So it's passing owl carousel on. No, jQuery is the T. So it's calling jQuery data this owl carousel. But see, there's a var, there's an I being passed in here, and there's an I being created here, and it's calling I on this. So if I say document, well, hang on. That's jQuery. So if I do a, trying to remember my jQuery here. So if I go over to the console, hey, look at all that nonsense. So if I say dollar, that's not dollar. Owl carousel? What do I get? Ah, there it is. Can I say stop? No. What do I get? So I think that's I on there, and we saw, yeah, stop was a function. Go back over to the console. Right? Show me what you got there. No. No. It brings me back to that. And no, those are things that it just picked up that it saw. Let's take this and go back over to this one, and I'll go to that console, and we'll clear. Yeah, see, because there it is misbehaving. Yeah, now we can look at this. No, that's all prototype nonsense. Hello. Hey, Jens.
Jens Woers just resubscribed for 30 months. Hey, Mr. Fritz.
Hello.
How time flies.
Thank you so much. And, yeah, look at that. There's stuff here. Thank you so much. I don't have my new charity set up yet, but we'll get that configured and we'll make a donation this month. Thank you so much. All right, so I guess. Well, it says length 1. Hang on. So, what happens if I do that? No. Length 1. Right? There's... I don't care about seeing it. Get me back to the console. Right? It's... Object. Items 5. Okay. Yeah, items 5. Okay. Items desktop. I don't know what that is. No. Single item. What if I change single item to true? right? So, okay, so there's the length, right? Can I say options single item equals true? Oh, get rid of the 0. No, still moving. Can I do slide speed equals 0? Did that stop it? Nope. I don't think changing the options will do anything. I think I need to actually, like, get the carousel object and... Right, so owl carousel is a... Well, what's... see this featured post object? It thinks it's in the carousel, and I'm trying to move it. Right, see, it's putting a transform here and moving it. And updating it every so often. There it goes. So we thought we saw that there was an escape. Where if it said owl init, data owl init, it'll return false. So what if we go back over here? It's this. Data owl init equals false. Right, will that stop it from moving it? Looks like it might. Maybe? So that's on the in the top featured post. Top feature article. There it is. No, I want this one. Right, so if I do that, and I can kind of force it to not pick it up and use it. Right. And I think that fixes 49. Okay. Thank you. Sure. Add an owl init to featured post to prevent carousel from identifying. All right, so this pushed out and updated, so let's go through and get rid of this content that is now I think I could probably... These are individual articles. Sitemap, I can leave that. It should pick up the CSS from these other ones. I wish I could delete a bunch of these all at once. I'm sure there's a Redis command I could trigger, but no matter. But let's see if that got it. I deleted sitemap. Oh well. It'll regenerate. Yep, you go away. Mm-hmm. And this one too. There we go. So now it's output cached. Yep, 0 Charlie Charlie 0 Charlie David David 981, and it's got the new CSS. You can see the blue there. I'm sorry, the purple and the purple there. Good. So that's done. Good. Squash and merge, and we'll see if that updates and handles that for us. So, and we'll wait for that. Hey Frank, you had a team lead that preferred doing those tasks manually. All right. Let's take care of this. I think this is kind of a no-brainer. An on error for thumbnail images so that it brings in an alternate image. What are you doing? This shouldn't be too bad to do. So I'm going to jump over to main. I'm going to get rid of moving featured post because we merged it. What was the other one? Fix colors. Yep, get rid of that one too. And I'm not really doing anything Aspire specific. Well, maybe we'll get to something Aspire-ish in just a minute. These people are idiots. The school district is just idiots. And I've complained about them for a while. All right, so let's call this fix missing thumbnail. Right? So where is it? There's an article in the one category. It's actually the Unreal article, the Unreal Engine article. It can't. So this is in, which category is this in? It doesn't say what category. But look, the thumbnail isn't showing up. It's here, but for some reason it's not showing up here. Why? Like, it's clearly trying to show it. Thumbnails, Aspire goes Unreal. Could not load the image. Okay, what's the image it's trying to load here? Okay, that it went and loaded the full image. Because it's in the search results. We've got to update search results too. Okay, so go back through to here. Let's look at the thumbnail. I don't care that it can't find it. Like, it can't find it for some reason it had a hard time generating it. Maybe we log some sort of an entry that says, hey, go try and rebuild this. I don't care. But what happens when I go to that location? Right? Okay. I can't see that. Unless I go look at the errors on Azure. We can do that. Is it missing a leading dot? No. I don't think so, at least. Logs. Let's just look at the log stream. If that was maximizing? Oof. Minimal APIs line 30. Right in here. Aspire goes Unreal. It's 30 characters long. It's going to chop off the last 12. And it's going to do a substring up to 20. That's not 20 characters. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's a... Yeah. Yeah. So that's an easy fix. So if the length is less than 32, right? File name dot length greater than or equal to 32, then it's 20. Otherwise, it's file name length minus 12. That'll take care of that issue. But I should also put a try catch around here. I could put a try catch around this so that instead of returning not found, it returns the default image. Oh, I'm hitting the same substring right there also. No, I'm good with that one. right? The file name is substring the length minus 12. Yeah, so it'll grab that as the extension. Yeah, that's fine. Get extension will not get the date that I injected in there. If I wrap this with a try catch, no, I can't do that. And I'm okay with that. I can do return file. Oh, come on. Yeah, results.file. That's what I want. Results, file. And I have a default image hiding up here somewhere. Where is it? Images. Is it logo? No, that's not it. I gotta get rid of these older ones in here that I'm not using. No. Default news thumbnail. That's it. Default news thumbnail WebP. That wasn't it. It's not just image. IMG. It's images. Yeah. And I think I want to also do that. Restart that. Let's see how it goes. What about Blazor? Yeah, what about Blazor? Yeah, it was throwing if the file name... Well, the file name will never be less than 12 because I stick 12 on the end of it. There's 6 digits for the date. WebP is 4 and 2 dots. So there'll always be 12 on the end. Let that load up. And this should actually give me default images for the stuff running here locally. Nope, didn't give me those either. There's Layla. Hello. Really? Didn't even attempt to load those. What happened there? And oh, right, this is running now. Images, yeah. So what happens if I try and go there? Okay, specified blob does not exist. Huh? You should have entered somewhere in here. Yeah, all right. Okay. So the extension, it got the extension. The file name base Aspire goes unreal, yeah. So there it's trying to get it. Now, if there was an error, it should have attempted to return that. So here, it's going to try and go get it, and that's where it's erroring. So it got the blob client. I should be able to say, does it exist? Right? I thought there was a method on this that we could look at and say, hey, does that thing actually exist? Yeah, it exists. Fine, it's a method. So I've got the catch. I can also, it's this bit right here that it's not. Right? I can move that up in here and I can say if not blob exists. Run that again. Let's take a look. So what about Blazor? Let's talk about Blazor. How you doing there, 7T? This will be a good fix, good quality of life fix to get in play here. Okay. Loading, getting everything running. And waiting. Hey, Nate, I'm feeling better. Thank you for asking. Now that should hit. There we go. If it doesn't exist, return that. Yep. And it didn't. Why doesn't it like it? Hey, Jed, hello. Right, if I click through to this one, it didn't even attempt to load it. Why? Right? Like, oh, well, there we go. Oh, and I can give it a file download name. Let's say file download name. No, I'm not doing that. But I need to. Can I bring in? I need to bring in like host environment. Yeah. I think it's web host environment. Yeah. Because I want to get path combine. I think that's what I want. I'm still editing here. Hang on a second. No, I want. Actually, I think I want. I want that. Yeah, rebuild and apply that. Ah, shoot. Because I need it also up here. Do that again. And that should give me now a default. You saw the URL of a container is a local address. How did I achieve that? What do you mean? It's running locally. When it starts up, it starts them in containers here locally. I'm not sure, Eric, and that's what I'm testing. If I needed an extra slash there. Path combine may insert one for me. I don't remember. I don't use path combine enough to remember off the top of my head. So let's try this. There we go. Now we got it. Which looks weird because it's like everywhere. And if we click through to this, there. So we got the default image if it can't get to the image. So, good. And I think we have a fix for why that one isn't loading properly. So, fixed, file name length calculation and provided default image if thumbnail error. And we'll set up that pull request. That should take care of this one. So this is 33. Going through and fixing the things. Fixes 33. Little quality of life things, right? So let me go back over. So this should be available now on the live site. And it's particularly the front page. Nah, let's wipe some of these other articles also. I really appreciate folks that are checking out the website. It means a lot. Thank you. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. If you want to learn about .NET Aspire, head on out to aspirify.net. So there's the website. Refresh. And that should have, yep, 5422. Dog 50. There we go. David 50. All right. So now, yep, there's stuff going by. Right? Stuff going by. Yep, there it is. Click through into an article, and it shouldn't move now. It's not moving. It's still doing that weird resize thing wrong. That feels like a CSS issue, but it's not moving, at least. Yeah. I think we... You make me sad. I'm going to reopen it. Gonna need to look at that further. I think it has to do with the server-side rendering. So, for now, I'll move on. I'm gonna need to dig in a little bit further there. What wasn't fake? Would be cool to have a GitHub action to auto flush the cache. I thought about that. Yeah. In order for me to do that, I would need to open up some sort of API endpoint that the GitHub action could touch, or give it some way to script and reach into the Redis cache and clear those entries. I don't know. I think just adding a button that uses the output cache API to just clear the output cache, I think is okay. Because right now it's just me, and it doesn't really hurt anything to hit that. But if I made a purge output cache API available, like, there are folks who could sit out there and just hammer that. So let's do this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on this search issue. Let's go over to main. Pull the merged updates there. Thank you. Fix missing thumbnail. That's not how I spell thumbnail. Thank you. And this is going to be search update. So the challenge here is when search runs, right? When I add new content, it doesn't immediately appear for the search engine. The search engine doesn't identify it for a while. What I'd like to do is force the search engine to pick up the updates and rebuild. Hey, hang on a second. Hang on. Wait a minute. Stop everything. Hold on. Wait. We need to pause for a second. I wanted to do this. No, what are you doing? I'm already... No. Stop with the music. No. I hit the wrong button twice here, and it's going to tweet out and whatnot. Our friend, the bald-bearded builder, is here, and I wanted to pause either when he got here or about halfway through the stream. Thank you. Thank you so much for you and your community making that donation to our St. Jude Children's Research Hospital fundraiser. Thank you so much for that. I was out last week and wasn't able to finish the fundraiser. I had COVID. I'm back now. Thank you so much for that. We hit a couple of other milestones. There was some shenanigans we were going to do last week, and I wasn't able to do it. I have a short week this week because my daughter graduates high school on Thursday, so I'm not going to be able to do anything Thursday or Friday this week. But I'm going to schedule the live streams. We're going to do that squirrel costume live stream that I promised. Over the next few weeks, they're going to be rolling out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I wanted to make sure. Can we thank our friend Bald Bearded Builder here and his community for their generous contribution to our fundraiser? Thank you very, very much. While I wasn't online, that knocked my socks off to see that this morning. Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate that. So, just delete search. Well, can't really do that. I'm going to have to here, but I can't. Secure an endpoint, long-term expiry jot. I could do that. I could. So, yeah, COVID put a stop to that. 1 million channel points. Man, that's a lot of channel points. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And make sure you tell your new employer about that donation and they will match. All right? I should do a community challenge. I haven't done one in a while here. We should do another one. So, and I haven't shared your announcement. And I know, and I'm quite happy for you. We've talked a bit about it. So, it's out there. You shared it on Twitter. I know. So, he's now a coworker. So, very cool stuff. Very happy for you. So, all right. Let me dive back in here. Yeah. See me in Teams. Oh no. Just what I'm looking for. Mistakes were made. I didn't hire him. So let me head over. I'm going to tidy up this search feature a little bit. See what we can do. Yeah, I saw your name on Teams, but then I saw like 2 or 3 other people with the exact same name. And that's the funny thing about Microsoft. When you work at a company with more than 100,000 coworkers, there's other people with the same name as you when you have a common name. Like, this is a thing. So fortunately, I believe I'm the only Jeff Fritz in Microsoft. So, but I believe there are lots of people named Fritz. Yeah, there's a bunch of folks named Fritz. Wait a sec, did they hire this guy? Is this who I think it is? They hired? Oh my gosh. They did. Oh, at GitHub. Still. Anyways. All right. Anyways. Where was I? Back over here. You're the only blazer, Mr. Magoo, at your work? Well, that's interesting. Matching colored beards? I don't know about that. But I think there's already shenanigans that I am attempting to plan for .NET Conf. So, Yeah, hey, PC nerd. I'm feeling better. Thank you. So let's do this. Let's start off with adding this clear cache button. I have here we go. In my admin area, I just have this page that says here's a list of all the articles. And there's a button over here that says create new. And this is running as Blazor Interactive Server. I'm going to add just a button next to it. And button. Clear. Let's say purge cache. And I'll write a method called purge cache. This should be easy to do. I think it's something I want async, right? I think. But in order for me to do that, I have it in the repository. I have it. I need to receive an I output cache store. Ugh. Hang on. Let's inject that John first. And I'll just call it cache store. And down here, I think I can just do... Come on. Thank you. Evict by tag async. Yeah, I knew it was an async. And the tag... No. Cache keys... Hang on. I created a catalog of these things. Cache policy, that's what I want. Nope. I'm going to get rid of everything. Now, why don't you like that? I need a cancellation token? Fine. Cancellation token. None. Fantastic. Dancing.net bot on tags app? Why? Okay, that's... Yeah. Did it hot reload and add that feature? That'd be kind of cool if it did here locally. So log in locally, sure. I don't need to log in locally anymore. I can do everything remotely now. Into admin. Yeah, purge cache, and it's in an ugly location. I'd really like it to be... let's say MX2. See if it moves it over. Oh, fine. Can we make it a... Can we do that? So it looks like a link? That's awful. That is awful. Fine. Right? That's still... What the... Fine. Yuck. Oh, I got rid of the text in the front. Look at that. Put the MX2 back in there. Color blue. So at least it looks like a link. Cursor pointer, right? Make it look. I can't tell if it actually did anything. I could use a logger there, you know? I output cache store. Flushing output cache. Right? How's that look? So if I go back over here and I go into my logs, right? Because I can see my logs. Value cannot be null logger. Fine. There it is. Flushing output cache. So I guess it did it. I guess. Right? That's cool. So I'll commit that. Added purge cache to admin page. Right, I'll push that, and now that's available out there for us. Well, when I go to merge. The rest of this issue, oh, there we go, fix the file name stuff. That should have deployed, so... Yep, clear out some of these other cache items that I won't have to cache later. There's the front page. You go away. Back over to here. So, there we go. That D-Zone article, it was having a hard time, I guess having a hard time loading that. So now it's got that. Darn you! Yeah, right there. But I've at least got fillers in there. So look, and even that one's fixed. Good. .NET Learn, Microsoft Learn, those should be aligned and fixed. Let's change this so it says Microsoft Learn on testing.NET Aspire apps. Fix that real quick. So back up here. This one, see it says .NET Learn. Change that to Microsoft Learn. So now if I go back to sample code. Yeah, there we go. Microsoft Learn, Microsoft Learn. So now you can see all the Learn articles on one page. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Back over to the code. So that bit, right? We're flowing back and forth on stuff here. So this is 51. I'll make sure I tag that in the pull request. Ta-da. Updated to make search run better. Fixes 51. Not done the pull request yet, so we'll continue adding to this. What else? No, it's not a test account on GitHub. Nope. Nope, it's another person named Fritz. Let's see. So, getting this search. Okay. So, problem that we have with the search. Search indexing on Azure. Why they renamed it. This is the third different name this search product has had. Which is like, it's a vice president that wants to get noticed is what it is. Is there a free digital clock-like font that can be used on websites? Yes. There's a bunch of them. Yes. And a digital countdown clock for .NET Conf. You're not wrong.
Great Scott!
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Look at that. Even 48% certainty. Look at that. So the data source for this, where is it? Here. Is looking into Azure Table Storage. It's right there. See, look, there's my account name. It's all right there for everybody to see. But there's this right here, track deletions. It's not keeping track of updates because it doesn't have a delete column that it's looking at. It'll track updates, but it doesn't know how to track deletions. So I have two pieces here. I need to get this thing to track deletions also. In order to do that, I need to put some sort of isDeleted column into the table and default it to false. That means I can now add a delete feature into the website. Okay. So this reaches into article repository, right? So let's control F12 and why I oughta this. Control F12 into that. So I have a table service client that gets, where is it? Article entity objects. I need to expand the article entity object so it includes an isDeleted object. Public bool, its default, it's not available. IsDeleted. False. And then what I should be able to do here is the delete marker value will be true, right? And I'll be able to use that. I don't have a way to... Well, no. Will that add... Azure Table Storage, add column. When I add a column, yeah. Doesn't actually have columns. Each entity is simply a set of properties with no fixed schema. So I guess maybe, like, Maybe I can tell it then. Where'd it go? Sure. Look at is deleted, and the value will be true if it's deleted. I guess it's saved. Okay. Next. When I add see, the search results are always going to go get they're always going to go get the previous, the original thumbnail. I guess that's all right for now on the search. But the last piece that I wanted to do in here is after you save, go run the search, go add it to the search index. Azure AI Search force reindex with .NET. Yeah. I want to run an indexer. Azure Storage has built-in change detection. That's what I'm using, so we're good with that. Oh, I wouldn't mind being able to reset it. So how do we do that? .NET SDK. Don't mind if I do. Get indexer, reset indexer async. Really? That's it? Why does it have to call? So that's just the name of the indexer. So let's just call that. Not that, I'm sorry. This one. Why does it have to get it? Do we have to get it first? Let's try getting it first. Like, all right, fine. I'll go get it. So that's going to be on article edit. After the save, see, right after you save an article, it actually goes and clears out everything to make sure it exists. Could be. In the article repository, I have the search. Right? Isn't the search feature in here? Or is it search for articles? There we go. Right? New search client. Right? There's the name of the index right there. So I'm guessing. And where is search service endpoint? Oh, I gotta get those. I should probably do this. Do this search option in here somewhere. Right? Like, private async task update search index. That sounds good. Right? So there I've got the search client, and this was saying indexer client, get indexer async, get the indexer. Well, that's for an indexer client. That's a search client. It's from this sample over here. Where is it getting indexer? Indexer client. New search indexer client. Don't mind if I do. Come here. Right? I think that's it. And I think that's it. I pass it as, yeah. Okay. Creating index. Create and run. Delete index. Create index. There's the reset. Reset the indexer. Get it? Yeah, I just want to run it. And the name of the indexer that I'm using. I'm going to hard code it because I'm lame like that. Is back over to Azure. The indexer is that. And I'm pretty confident about that. I don't mind. Yeah, okay. So after save article, right, where's save? Get, feature, search, save. Right? Run the search index. Hey there. Thank you for the follow. Update the search index. And that should run the indexer. So there's the indexer, last run 49 minutes ago. What's your error? Yeah, fine. I'm over in here. So if I go into one of these articles, I'm going to put a breakpoint on this. No. Restart that. Restart that. Because that's not the right version of it. Put a breakpoint right there. And we'll see if it runs the search index and make sure we don't get any errors. And if that all works, commit, save, and ship it. Yeah, it could be to make sure it exists. Like they're doing an assert. Come on. There we go. Yep, log in and work on this locally. Admin. I'm just going to choose an article, doesn't matter. Because when I save, it should hit that point. There we go. So go get those values, get the indexer client. So if that did run, I should be able to come over here. Is it running? Yeah, it's running right now. It just ran. That was it, 11:28:32 right there. That's just now, and it took a half a second to run. It found 2 new articles to update. So if we go back to the real site, right? New and popular isn't loaded. Because I'm logged in. There we go. Right, so if I look for, let's look for tests. Right, there we go. Cool. I think we're okay. Let's push that update. So over here, this. And I could add a delete button. If I added a delete button, I need to mark things as is deleted, and I need to go through all my queries and make sure I do a check where is deleted equals false. I should probably do that. I should probably look in repository here, and when I get articles, make sure I get where is deleted equals false. You know? Right here. And X is deleted, and not X is deleted. Right? I'm trying to think what's the elegant way to do this. Like that. I'm going to need to check that in each one of my queries here. So that was get by slug. Here's another get by slug. That's also doing that. Carry that whole enchilada there. Get latest. Get table client. Query order by descending. Today's featured articles. I think I'm okay on this. I'm okay on that one. Latest by type. Yep, we're gonna add that one. Save. I don't need to update that one. Get all. Yep. Final, make it X. Search doesn't need to worry. Doesn't need to worry. Don't need to worry. This one. And here we'll say A. Same deal here. A. And since I have all my, right, I'm using repository pattern here, and I've got everything in one file for all my queries, it's real easy for me to just update all the interactions right here, right? I don't have to go hunting across the entire application. So that's nice, right? Gives me a simple one place to go to do the refactoring. Get the new and popular articles. Yes. There we go. Cool. Yep, that's fine. Good. Rerun it just to make sure that the site loads. Everything should work properly because all I did was add a check on something that right now is null. and shouldn't have an issue on. But you never know. Oh, that's on visit counters. No, that's not where we want to go. On visit counters. And right there. Even though it's popular, if it was deleted, don't include it. That's important. If I'm going to be able to mark things as deleted, yeah, don't include that. And when we mark things as deleted, it should trigger the thing to rerun. What? No. What are you looking at here? That should be A. Try it again. Editing too much code at once. None of this just modify one file. No, I'm working on everything. There we go. Let's see what we get. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Yeah. Everything loads properly. Good. Waiting. And if we jump into here. Cool. Everything loads. Right? Oh, no. What? Make sure. This one? Why am I getting 404s? This is on Get Slug. We've got an issue down in Get Slug. Get by Slug. I think it's right here. All right, so if we jump into, say, this article from our friend Layla, there it is. Coalesce used with a type that cannot be null. I did all that work. Okay. So, can I get away with just that? No. Can I get rid of that then? Does that work? Let's try. Yeah, bool does default to false. However, there's no values saved. So I want to explicitly force it to false. So it's me being a little overly paranoid. Yeah, now I've got to go and unwind all this everywhere. Give me the error list so I can just go through that list real quick and just click on these things. Because I put so many of them in there. Right? Make it easier to adjust. And I have to modify all of them because I changed the data type. There's one up there. Yep, there's another one. I think it's actually removing these from the list as I, yeah. Yeah, Visual Studio is updating as I... There's the last two. Try that again. Yeah, I get paranoid about default data type values. Like, I know what they should be. I like to be explicit, though, just to make sure. It means I have to think a little bit less. So, here we go. We'll take a look. And... Content, okay. Click into the article. Yes, it loads. And if we go to one of the categories, that loads. That loads. And if we go to from an author, yep. Good. There we go. Updated to handle to rerun index. And let's add these as two separate steps. Nah. Updated to handle is deleted and rerun. Yeah, updated to handle is deleted and rerun search. All right. Back up here. Here it is. And this is also going to fix 23. So that's building and testing, making sure. Oh, wow. Really? No, it's still. Yeah, there it is. Updated to make search run better. So that'll finish up. Should be almost done. Yep, there it is. All done. And I'll merge and deploy that. So when that's done, I'll have my flush output cache button in the admin area that I can use. And as new articles are added, it'll rebuild the search index automatically. Which means then that I can take the indexer here. And right now it runs once an hour. It just automatically runs it. I can change that schedule and tell it not to, right? Every 60 minutes. Right? Let's just have it run daily just to. Yeah. Just so that double check if there's anything new, go ahead and run it. But there it goes. From when I saved again, it reran it. Actually, no, that's the little bit of time after. That's fine. What was that one document? Why don't you tell me the document? No. All right. Yeah, that one. So it's a free search that I'm using, and I'm barely using this. Right, I've got 3 indexes on this free index, and I've got 95 documents for Aspirify, and it's barely taking up 200K. Right? I mean, there's Aspirify, takes up 100K for just those Aspirify articles. Yes, I do force the false on insert now, because it'll be false by default there. So, okay. I'm feeling pretty good about these changes. Workflow runs, here it is, still running 2 minutes ago. It's going to be a while. It takes a good 7 minutes to finish provisioning, and yeah, here's the provision. This is where it takes a long time, is making sure that all the Azure things are running properly. Because when I add new Azure things, maybe I should do some sort of a cache around this. Because when that takes a little bit of time, be nice to skip that maybe. Right, the provisioning takes 3 minutes. The actual deployment, it takes 1.5 minutes. Right there. So the whole thing could be done if I wasn't updating the infrastructure and I wasn't checking it. Right, it could be done in 2 minutes if I didn't have it always attempt to provision. Yeah, I could write a cache step around that. And cache based on what's in program CS. I could do that. I could. Hello, welcome. How you doing there? Okay. But that's a previous run. Right, we're about 4.5 minutes into this run, and it's deploying now. See, it took 3.5 minutes to do the provision. So maybe I could cache the provision step based on what happened in the app host program, right? Only if that changes do we need to go and provision again. Would certainly speed things up significantly. Would save 75% of the time that this takes to deploy, right? This step took 1.5 minutes, so we're about halfway through. And even then, it's deploying services again that weren't updated in this. So maybe I could get smarter about exactly which services to update. So this is closed. Let's create a new issue here. Update deployment script to not run long steps. Let's just say tune deployment script. Don't run provision. Ideas. Don't run provision when app host program CS doesn't change. Don't push updates to services that weren't changed. That's a perf issue. It's lower priority, but for tracking, put it out there. Not necessarily something that I need to do, you know? There we go. It says it finished. So I should be able to go out here and it's running the new container, but it didn't deploy 86 Echo Bravo Alpha Alpha. That is this previous one. It's not running, it's not showing me cache from 1 Foxtrot 699 Charlie 7. Let's log in. Yep, get me logged in. And I'm logged in now and it's showing me the new version. So I'm going to go to admin and now I can purge cache. So I clicked purge cache. It should have purged the cache. Let's open a new browser in private browsing mode. And I should get... Yep, I've got the new version. Done. So purge cache works. I'm assuming then that the search and other features work as well. Fantastic. I'll log out. Take me back to the homepage. There we go. And I do properly get that. And looking in my cache. There we go. Only things in there are the RSS and the homepage. Everything else was wiped out and it'll reload later. Nice. So I'll close that one. And maybe we'll dive in and do one more item in here. If we can start on this one. Hey Simplu, you have a question? Let me take that. I'll jump over here to the chat room so we can discuss. Do I see value in learning getting Microsoft certifications, the Azure ones? Thinking about getting those and curious about my opinion. So here's the deal. Operations types of processes where you're touching the production locations for public-facing services are things that have high risk to go with them, right? Am I really going to trust Chris, Terry, somebody walking in off the street that I might not necessarily know their skill level to go and touch and modify my website? I don't know. That website is my public face to the world, right? It's my billboard, it's my advertising, it's my presence. And if those folks don't know what they should know to manage and handle that, do I trust them? I think it is worth it. Because it will give folks an extra level of assurance that you've used the tools, that you've been verified, that you know how to work with the hosting service. And I think that is valuable for somebody who's trying to evaluate and understand your skill level. It's one thing to come in and say, oh yeah, I worked on and managed websites X, Y, and Z. What does that mean? I don't know what it means that you worked on them. Did you actually build, deploy, and manage them? Have you scaled them up and scaled them down? Have you put a reverse proxy in front of them? What have you done? What does that actually mean? Did they all just run on a virtual machine? Or did you work with app service, Azure Container Apps? Did you work with Kubernetes out there? So to get the test in, that certification is going to help give those assurances clearly to a prospective employer. So, and there are some folks out there that are employers, that are consulting groups, that want those certifications because they have a status level as a Microsoft partner, because they have a certain percentage of their consultants, of their staff, that have passed those exams, and they can give that assurance that they do things the Microsoft way, so, or the Microsoft prescribed way, let's say. So, yeah. So things like Azure certifications, I believe there's also AWS certifications out there. Yeah, I think they're worth it for folks. Apollo really wants to get into C#.net job after their bachelor's degree, but the jobs for them are scarce in Apollo's area, and the ones I do find are very vague about what exactly to use it for. Trying to tailor your learning path to that. Yeah, that's fair. I don't think it's out of line for you to contact the hiring manager and ask questions about that. Hey, I'm a student that's learning some of these things, and I'd like to get a job with your company, with your organization at some point in the future. I'm not ready yet, but can you help me understand a little bit more about what you're looking for, so that me and maybe some of my classmates can make sure that we tailor our learning appropriately. I don't think it's out of line to contact a hiring manager and ask those questions. And you'll sometimes see contact the hiring manager buttons, right? Not just apply, but contact to learn more around some of those job posts. Do you think you could do the same by networking on LinkedIn? Yes. Asking recruiters? Yes, absolutely. Asking recruiters in your area, hey, what are some of the things that you're looking for? Do we have a lot of folks that want WPF skills? Do we have a lot of folks in this area that are looking for Blazor? What are some of those skill sets that you see? And the recruiter wants to sell you. They want to represent you, because when the recruiter places you, they get paid. It's like 10% of your first year salary. That's how much they get paid for their finder's fee. It's 10 or 20%. I forget what the number is. So, if they can help steer you in a good direction, they're going to get paid in the future for helping getting you placed. Not a problem, Simplu. And good luck to you. All the best. Let us know how it goes. And please hang out, ask questions. Have a good time with us here in chat. I wish you much success. Chief Proby asks, is .NET Aspire going to allow you to deploy to app service containers, or are app containers going to be the only target for deployment? We get this question a bit. Right now, the tools that are built for deployment with .NET Aspire only target Azure Container Apps. We talked about this briefly up at the top of the stream, and I should recap because it has been a few hours later, and I know some folks weren't here at the beginning, and that's okay. Nothing says you're required to use those automated tools to deploy from Aspire. You can still use the same deployment capabilities that you were using to deploy to app service, to app service containers. You can use all of those and just use the appropriate convention to pass around connection strings and environment variables into your application that adheres to that Aspire syntax that we've seen. You can do that. It's not intended that Azure Container Apps are the only way. We're literally at V1, and it's 6 months after they did the initial announcement. And quite frankly, we're in a good we're happy that we have the level of integration that we do have, because they didn't want to go quite this far for V1. So there's a lot that's in there that's really good that we can use to deploy to production, but we're using Azure Container Apps. They are going to be enhancing it in the future. There's some comments from Damien, from David, that talk about how they do plan to enhance and add more deployment capabilities in the future. So including, there is a mention on Reddit, they would like to integrate the Kubernetes deployment capabilities with some of the default tool offerings that are available. Being proactive with questions is something they tend to like as well. Yes. Dark Repulsor referring to the recruiters and other hiring managers. They do like to be a little proactive with questions, because if you ask some questions, they can answer them and maybe update the job post to include some of those answers, because if you have questions, there's a good chance there's other folks out there with similar questions. A code portfolio is nice to have as well. Yeah, I've interviewed in the past with folks, and they've asked me to show them, describe to them some of the things I've coded, and I've said, I've got about 1,000 episodes of a live stream that are available out there on YouTube, and I've got literally tens of thousands of hours of me writing code on YouTube that you're welcome to go and look at, search through, and explore. And they thought that was being a little bit of being a smartass. But you know what? When you ask me to interview, this is part of what you get. And I'm unique like that, so. That might be something that you do want. It might not. So. All right. Let's take a look. I don't know if I want to do article submission queue, because that means I need to get folks to be able to log in as well. And I don't think I'm ready to let folks log into the website just yet. Social media buttons would be nice to add. To add a share button? It would be nice. And I think there's... But you know what? It's noon. And I did want to stop a little bit early today. Let me end here. I think this is a good stopping place instead of trying to pick up and start something new. Let me wrap up and end here. This isn't too bad a stopping place at all. And we'll call it here. It's been 3 hours that we've been coding together, right? Yeah. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us, for tuning in wherever you might be. Let me take a look around the horn at who I can raid, who's doing something fun that I can get you connected to. You know what? Let's go drop in on our friend Jason Linksdorf. Here comes the raid. There's the raid call. There. So, you're welcome. Remember, I'll be back tomorrow on the Visual Studio channel on Twitch, twitch.tv/Visual Studio, youtube.com/.net. I've already scheduled this week and next week's streams out there. You can find them on YouTube. I'm actually going to drop those links into chat. because I want you to know that they're coming. I want you to tune in because this is going to be a phenomenal demo tomorrow, because we are going to take our Aspire application that we started building, and we're going to add a microservice that uses MongoDB. Okay? This is, and it's going to be, it's not going to be microservice the way that .NET people do it, where, oh, it's just another API in the solution. Oh, it's another project that's in the same solution. No. We're going to use a completely different GitHub repository in a different folder on disk outside of our solution. We're going to include that in our Aspire project, and we're going to see exactly how we can build that microservice in isolation and get it loaded up and included in with the rest of our project, so that for our primary deployment, it's a piece of cake to go and deliver and run. All right? Let me set up that raid to our friend Jason Linksdorf. If you're watching on YouTube, and you can see that link, check it out. It's in the chat. I think it's right over here from the Restream bot to tomorrow's stream. If you're watching on Twitch, you see it there in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun. We put in a bunch of bug fixes and updates to make Aspirify.net just a little bit easier for everybody to use and get new content immediately. All right? Get ready to say hi to my friend Jason, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right? I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.